Black Hollow. Even its name whispered secrets. It was a town etched in perpetual twilight, shrouded by ancient oaks and steeped in forgotten lore. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth, and the unsettling silence that followed dusk. Towering above the town on a windswept hill stood the silhouette of the abandoned World War II bunker, a concrete monolith that had borne witness to countless unspoken horrors. Its rusted metal door creaked open like a hungry maw, inviting the unsuspecting into its depths. The townsfolk spoke of the bunker in hushed tones, their voices laden with fear and respect. Legends murmured of strange lights and chilling cries emanating from within its depths. But the true horrors, if any, remained shrouded in the passage of time, known only to the shadows that danced within its walls. They stepped cautiously through the rusted metal door, its hinges groaning in protest. The sunlight instantly vanished, swallowed by the impenetrable darkness that lay beyond. The air inside was stale and cold, thick with the stench of mildew and decay. The only sound was the frantic thumping of their own hearts. Evan flicked on his flashlight, its beam cutting through the oppressive darkness. Dust motes danced in the artificial light, swirling around them like ghostly apparitions. The concrete walls were cold and damp, stained with the passage of time and the weight of forgotten secrets. Leah shivered, pulling her jacket tighter around herself. "This place gives me the creeps," she whispered, her voice trembling slightly. Mick, his earlier bravado fading, nodded in agreement. Evan, his hand hovering near the rusty revolver tucked in his belt, swallowed his own fear and urged them forward. The bunker was a labyrinth of narrow corridors and windowless rooms, each one colder and more oppressive than the last. They wandered through the echoing silence, their flashlights casting long dancing shadows on the walls. The air grew heavy, thick with an almost tangible sense of dread. Then they found it. A room at the end of a long, narrow corridor, its entrance partially concealed by a collapsed section of the ceiling. The air within this room was different, charged with a strange energy that sent shivers down their spines. And the walls, once dull gray, were now bathed in a sickly shade of crimson, as if stained with blood. Leah gasped, her hand flying to her mouth to stifle a scream. "Whoa!" Mick stumbled back, his eyes wide with a mixture of horror and disbelief. Even Evan, normally stoic and unflappable, felt a cold shiver crawl down his spine.
The Red Room. They had found it.
1943. The air inside the bunker was thick with the smell of sweat, fear, and gun oil. Colonel Isaac Hargrave, his face etched with the horrors he had witnessed, paced the length of the Red Room, his boots thudding heavily against the concrete floor. Maps and strategic plans covered the table in the center of the room, illuminated by a flickering oil lamp.
"We need to break their code, gentlemen. We're losing men every day. This intelligence is vital."
His words hung heavy in the air, a testament to the gravity of their situation. The men around him, his most trusted officers, worked tirelessly, their faces pale with exhaustion but their resolve unwavering. The Red Room. Hargrave had chosen this room specifically, its crimson paint a constant reminder of the stakes. The color was his own doing, a mixture of paint and his own blood, a ritualistic sacrifice to fuel his desperate pursuit of victory. But little did he know, his actions would have consequences that echoed far beyond the battlefield. Back in the present, the group stood frozen in the doorway of the Red Room, their flashlights trembling in their hands. The air was thick with the metallic scent of blood, although no visible source was present. The oppressive atmosphere pressed down on them, suffocating them with its unseen weight.
Do you feel that? It's like something's watching us.
It's just your imagination, Leah.
Mick scoffed, attempting to mask his own growing unease with false bravado. But even as he spoke, he couldn't shake the feeling that they were not alone. The temperature in the room plummeted, a sudden unnatural chill that cut through their jackets and sent shivers down their spines. The air grew thick, making it difficult to breathe. And then the whispers started, soft at first, barely audible, but growing steadily louder, swirling around them like a malevolent wind. They were low, guttural whispers, filled with an unspeakable agony and rage.
Look,
Sam, his eyes wide with terror, pointed a trembling finger towards the far corner of the room. The others turned to see what he was pointing at, their blood turning to ice in their veins. A dark, swirling vortex had opened up in the corner, its edges crackling with an otherworldly energy, and from within its depths, they could hear the screams. Panic seized them. They stumbled back, desperate to escape the room, but the door, once easily accessible, was now gone. A solid concrete wall stood in its place, trapping them within the confines of the Red Room.
Help! Someone help us!
Leah pounded on the wall, her cries echoing through the room. But her pleas were met with only silence. They were trapped, alone with the unseen entity that watched them from the shadows, its presence growing stronger with each passing moment.